Hey everyone, and welcome to Homo Ludens. I'm Fred, and you're watching the channel History and Board Games. And once again, we have with us Lise from Beyond Solitaire, which is becoming more or less my co-host at this point. So that's
He
pretty
tried to
cool.
kick me out though.
Yeah, that's the thing. So we were slightly late, not as late as I thought we would be, but we were slightly late because actually I was trying to figure something out, and I banned Lise by accident, which is
I
which
thought
is
I was the one who did the canceling around here, Fred.
yeah, and it was a bit rough. I'm sorry about that. But anyway, so this is episode 3, I believe, of our ongoing series called Wargame Archeology. First episode was on your channel, Liz. So if you check out on Beyond Solitaire Wargame Archeology, then this first episode we're actually going through the first volume of Avalon Hill's The General magazine. In the second episode that we had on this channel, we were going through volume 2, and that was actually quite a fun one too, so that was super interesting. We go through volume 3, but there is a couple of things that we wanted to do before continuing that series regarding the general magazine. The first thing that we wanted to do is actually play a game of that era. And if you remember, if you have watched the episode 2, actually at that moment in time, they were talking a lot about the 1965 edition of D-Day. D-Day is a bit of a legendary game in the tabletop wargaming hobby for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's designed by Charles S. Roberts, which is like the legend of our style of games. So that's the first thing. Second thing, it's the first hex encounter game that was ever released. So it actually sparked a massive a branch of our hobby. So you have the hexes, you have the combat ratio, you've got those counters with the 3 values: attack, defense, movement. You've got combat result tables. You've got so much things that we still use today that are still part of the toolbox. So a lot of things were created at that time. So pretty interesting, and it's also like a big topic. Like D-Day is something that stayed actually a staple, I would say, in the wargaming hobby. And yeah, you still have games to this day that are actually covering more or less at the same scale, the same operation, which is liberation of France and the collapse of the Third Reich.
Yeah, I mean
But
somebody had to come help y'all out.
yeah, exactly.
It's not gonna be
But
me though.
anyway, that's the overall idea. So what we're gonna do is so we decided to play exactly the 1965 edition. So we have the 1965 rules, and we find the 1965 Vassal module. So if you're wondering how we're playing this game remotely, there is a notion between us how we do this. We use a software called Vassal. It's a free software. I recommend that you go and check their website and use the platform to actually play games online. It's a great platform. It's a bit dry, I'm not gonna lie, but it offers so much potential. It's a great platform, it's free, and actually I would recommend that you support the community behind it. You can set up an ongoing PayPal donation, and I think it's totally worth it. What they've done for the hobby over the last couple of decades is massive. Of course, my favorite platform stays Ready the Troops, but Ready the Troops only has 12 or 13 games, so I have to, do other things. And I think that Vessel is pretty awesome, and it's a great community behind it. Anyway, so if you're in the chat, feel free to ask any question. Feel free to do some comment, because basically Liz and I are going to figure out the game as we play. We're probably not going to do the whole. I think it's 50 turns. Yeah, 50 turns.
Yeah, we're not gonna make 50 turns, but
No, we're probably not going to make 50 turns. So we'll call it in like 60, 70 minutes. We see where we are at, and that's pretty much it. You might see the game again on channel, because thanks to Pierre, I will actually have a copy at the end of the week. He actually found a copy. I don't remember where it was, on eBay or something like this, for £15. £15 unpunched, mint copy from 65.
wow.
So Pierre and I should be playing it at Vanguard this weekend. So that should be actually quite fun. I would send some pics. So follow me on Twitter if you want to see that, at Fred Serval. And I'm also on Blue Sky at Fred Serval, and I will post some pictures over there. Anyway, maybe one small announcement before we start, and that's something that I need to mention. There was a prolongation for registration for Wargame Santa. Wargame Santa is something that happens every year. You register, you get a secret Santa thing, you get a target, you become the target of someone, you buy a wargame to someone for Christmas. It's an awesome thing to do in the community. It's really, really cool. If someone can post the link into the chat, I see that Stuart, you're here. If you can post the link to Board Game Geek for people to register to Secret Santa, that would be great. As usual, I will participate and I will do my traditional Christmas unboxing when I will talk about what I think the year was so far, what I'm planning for the year ahead, and unboxing the thing that I would get from my Secret Santa. But yeah, register, awesome initiative. I really want us to support this. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the introductions and everything. Anything you want to say, Liz? What's up on Beyond Solitaire? You have the big episode with Rodney that was released, but well, is there anything else?
Yeah, things are booming over on Beyond Solitaire right now. So yes, I released a podcast episode with Rodney today where I actually got him worked up about a rule book, and it was awesome. You know, I had to be annoying. I had channeled Fred. And then also what's going on right now is so the People's Choice Top 200 list is being revealed over on the One Player Guild on Board Game Geek right now. It's under Hot Geek List if you go look, because solo gamers are it these next couple weeks. But I'm running the commentary videos on my channel, so if you want to see people commenting on that list, which is just a fun solo gamer tradition every year, that's going on right now. And I also want to note that in about 2 weeks, we're going to have another installment of Wargame Archeology. And that one's going to be on Beyond Solitaire, and Brant's going to come over, and we're going to have a funeral for wargaming. We're going to have several, all the times that wargaming has been about to die through the ages.
I need to find a small hat with a veil, you know, something like this. That would be so cool. I would try to find something in that direction. But yeah, it's when we talked about it with Brent, I thought it was really funny. It reminded me of that Twitter thread that showed mentions of people saying in newspapers, people don't want to work anymore, dating down to 1890. And you have like this thing. It's like, oh, this generation, no one wants to work anymore. It's like, oh, it looks like for the last 150 years, the same kind of people have been saying the same kind of stuff. Anyway, Stuart, it's nice that you're commenting and being annoying in the chat, but I did ask you, can you share the link to the Wargame Santa page for people to register? So can you stop being annoying and be useful? That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking, Stuart. That would be great. And I'm gonna add this here, and here we go. This is what it looks like. So yeah, don't worry. The colors are, there's not many
Beautiful.
colors. Yeah, it's so the thing is that at this time printing technology was quite limited. You didn't have that many colors that you could print on a single thing. So it's pretty dry. But if you twist your head like this, you will recognize France. And I would be playing the Germans tonight, and Liz would be playing the Allies. And basically, what I'm going to try to do is prevent Liz from crossing that line here, the Rhine. As soon as Liz crosses more than 10 divisions across the Rhine, I think that's it, 10 divisions, she would win the game. Yeah, Joe is saying colors were invented in 1960. Oh, so you did, it might have been blocked, I guess. Then it doesn't matter, we'll figure it out. I would add it in the description, or people can sort it out. They can find it on BGG. Sorry about that. But yeah, anyway, Liz is trying to go across that line. So she's gonna move some units that are right now available in Britain. She's gonna choose one place to do her like her amphibious assault, and then she's gonna push through. So I did my setup earlier before the stream, and I had actually to place those static infantry units that are really shit along the coastline. And then I've put actually some backup buffer stacks of units in the back to actually react to where, depending where Liz is gonna actually push through. So we see how it goes. The rules are extremely simple. Well, when I read them, I think there is maybe, and that's the thing that we'll have to go through, is actually look into how the invasion step works for you at the beginning of the game. But once you're on ground, it's pretty straightforward. If you look at a counter, and I'm gonna show one here, you see there are 3 numbers. So as you can see, you have NATO symbols. So those are armored units. So those are my Panzer. And basically, the number on the left is the attack strength, the number in the middle is the defense strength, and the number on the right is the number of hexes I can move. And that's pretty much it. The thing is that it also introduces the concepts of zones of control, which is something that is also something that stayed a fundamental aspect of Hex Encounter. The zone of control are the 6 hexes surrounding a unit. And basically, as soon as you enter a zone of control, you have to stop. You can exit a zone of control but you cannot move from one zone of control to another. So once you're in a zone of control, the only thing you can do is move out or attack. And it's going to be a classic I-go-you-go. This is going to move all of your units, do the combats, and then I'm going to move all of my units, do the combats, and this is pretty much it. There is a very nice combat result table, which is a bit funky in the way it's done. Like, things have slightly changed since then. Normally, you have from top to bottom the most advantageous for the defender to the most advantageous to the attacker, and it changes over time. And you can see that this one is a bit more. It's kind of that, actually. Just that it's a bit weird. Like, you get eliminated and then you move back and then you get eliminated. It's a bit weird. But anyway, those are the classic stuff. If you've never seen a combat result table before, if you don't know what I'm talking about right now, don't worry. We'll go step by step and I will explain what it is. But I think it's an awesome point, actually, to talk about Hex Encounter, because it's like the most vanilla, basic Hex Encounter game that I've ever seen. Like, it's more vanilla than SCS, which is also a series of game published by MMP, but originally from the gamers. That is probably the basic Hex Encounter operational stuff that you have. But yeah, that was a long intro, but I think that
no, it's good. If we're being Wargame Archeology about it, though, one thing that's very fun about this particular rulebook is that there are like little hand-drawn things in here too. Like, the graphic design is very interesting because it's pretty clear that this is really just like a very homegrown operation at this point. Like, the examples have people's handwriting on them.
Yes, kind of.
I'm very charmed by this personally.
Yeah. I think it's the graphic design itself is quite unique. Yeah, it's but I really like there's something charming about it.
Oh yeah, actually, I also find this charming. Yes. I could definitely see, this being something that you pull out and you're like, oh, let's just play this D-Day. Also, what's kind of interesting is that the way the game is pitched in the rulebook, obviously it's he, him pronouns. What I'm not surprised by that at all. But also very interesting is that the units are described as these are your chessmen. Yes. So I sort of thought that was fascinating because it's kind of clear to me what this game wants to present itself as to a new market. And it's trying to go for people who already like things like chess, who already like things that are...
Yeah. So it does stress a lot chess quite a bit, and I think in the promo material they also did that, and they said, basically it's like chess but with so much variability and historical theme and everything. But they do really go for. But then again, when we're reading the Avalon Hill General, like, you see that most of the audience are people that are part of the chess club. So in a way, I think it makes sense that they're pushing this because they did probably realize early on that their target audience were probably in chess clubs, and if some of those people were aware that this existed, that would be playing it. So that's actually quite interesting. And very good question from Alistair here. I wonder how many people wrote to Mr. Roberts to tell him this isn't a real war game. I guess so for now. And this is really interesting. We surprisingly at this time it didn't feel like it was at all a conversation. And that's one of the things that we highlighted is that clearly the strong distinction between heavy economic games, war games, and stuff like this didn't seem like it was actually a thing. It's something that I feel probably appeared later, but we haven't seen it yet. And I'm actually curious to see when it's going to appear in the discussion. But at this point, like in the infancy of the hobby, it's like like the distinctions are not really important at all, which I think is quite interesting. But I'm pretty sure that you might have some people today that would look at this game that actually sparked the whole hobby and would say it's not a real war game. So that's, BGG in a nutshell for you.
Yes, not a real war game.
Yes, and actually, Molotov Cocktail said, "Well, it doesn't use squares like real wargame," which is actually a good point at that time. That was the standard, so quite interesting. But yeah, anyway, so maybe let's look at the rules. So I've done my setup, and now we're gonna have a bit of a special turn. So as you can see on the side here, this is what Liz is gonna have for D-Day. So that's week 1 that we're gonna do, and then in week 16 she's gonna have some reinforcement, and then week 24. I guess if we're lucky, we'll go up to week 16. I don't expect that we'll go to week 24, but we'll see about that. Good. So if, of course, if people in the chat actually have already played the game, none of us, either Liz or I, have ever played this game. We just read the rules earlier today, so we are basically complete noobs. We do have the benefit of having played a lot of war games that were released afterwards, so we can figure out the rules. But it's still like we don't really know how it's done. But anyway, we've done the prepare for play. We've done the different steps. I can stack up to 3. You can stack up to 2. And now the allied player selects one of the 7 invasion area. And he places, so I will have to do it for you.
Also, it's one of the invasion sites, SIGHT. In mine, yeah. Well, how to invade?
Well, for me, I have invasion areas.
The allied player's selection of the invasion site.
Oh, that's weird. I have invasion area.
Oh, we're probably looking at 2 different. Like, so how to? There's the setup part, and then there's how to invade, and so there's. 2
oh yeah, for now I'm in the prepare for play because we were basically
I need to select an invasion area, and so basically, those of you who are looking at our game state already, you can see because I have to get across the Rhine up top. Fred has conveniently placed lots and lots of units in the places that are closest to that. But there's also some sort of emptier places. However, they're very, very, very far away from goal. And so I have to make a decision about whether I want to place units in kind of clear areas and try to make a run, or if I want to just get into a fight right away, but I'm also closer to where I'm going and just brute force my way up there. So we don't have to worry about supply in the basic rules. If there's a tournament, that's what those red numbers would be, but we're not in a tournament. We're just playing around. But I'd actually be interested. Does anybody in the chat have an opinion about where I should set up?
Well, I think you should definitely go into the Bay of Biscay. Like that's what they did.
The Bay of Biscay.
Yeah, and it succeeded.
So I could just like have a bunch of I could just run.
That's my neutral. It's and I'm completely neutral, and I think that's a good tip. Actually, I would be very worried if you went into the Bay of Biscay because that's definitely the area that was mostly focusing on during setup. Alternatively, I think what would be an awesome idea would be to take Marseille and then go up the Rhone Valley. It's like a highway there. Like you have so much space. And yeah, so those are my tips. I'm not sure if someone in the chat has other recommendation. But
Stuart thinks I should pick which scenic Norman beach I want to visit.
Yeah.
The errata increase with the invention of colors.
Yes, yeah, I think that's fair.
This really makes me wonder about the wine dark sea from the Odyssey now. Like people have argued, like, what does that mean? Did people see blue in that time? Like, it's ridiculous. But oh man. Ooh. I don't really know what to do because I have obviously this is an F around and find out kind of situation, right? And I want to do something that's exciting because I feel like this is a learning game, so we should definitely get into combat and like be annoying.
So historically, they pretended that they were gonna do an amphibious assault in Pas-de-Calais. Because which is actually the shorter path.
This is a terrible idea because all those little fortified sites.
Yeah. Oof. But they did pretend, and they I think they managed to convince them that they were going to do this, and then they surprised them by going into Normandy, which was quite a bit risky. It was a longer trip, and you have a lot of swamps and stuff. It's actually a pretty rough terrain, which is not really well represented actually in this. You only have the Lorne and you have a couple of rivers there, but it's doesn't look that bad from here.
No, Brittany looks okay. Because I can slip between these.
Do River Caesar, that's
Why not?
That's actually a good. That's actually a good idea. But that would be then Pas-de-Calais. Pas-de-Calais for you.
An interesting prospect. It's just popping during a great British Bake Off. Okay. The other question is, I'm just trying to decide if I want to do something that's like actually exciting, or if I want to do something. I don't know. Let's see. These are only stacked one high, right? So if I decide to attack them, your defense will be tripled.
Yep.
So it'd be like 6. But I have stuff where I can come in with a defense factor of 8 if I decided to come into Normandy and pop in like a good little historical fun moment here. I don't know where Soggy Bottom is, Alistair. Oh man. You know what? Let's do Normandy because it's got lots of interesting things to do, and it's like it's a classic choice. And like I feel like I should get into a fight with you because this isn't gonna last all the way through the game. Yeah. And so we should show off the different things that we can do.
Yeah, you need to hurt me quite a bit.
And if I come to Normandy, as you can see here, I have like a chart of what I'm allowed to put here. So we've got, for the first turn, I can put 6 infantry and 3 parachute. Parachute sounds very fun.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome. To me. Yeah.
So I definitely want to come here and just pop this guy right here. So I could take, let's see, infantry are the ones with the X. Just the X. And there's some that have like a little extra thing that means they're parachute. My biggest thing is I can't see very well because am I getting old? Are these just tiny?
You can zoom in.
I got this. So I want to stack 2 infantry here.
Yeah, because these can only stack 2.
And then I can attack from the water, right?
Yep. So units on sea hexes can only attack those German units on coastal hexes that the arrow points to. So basically, this stack here is going to only be able to attack this unit here. This
but basically,
will attack this. Yeah.
What will this one do that's on this sort of blank spot?
Which one?
Like if I put somebody here, hang on, let me do the alt thing.
Yeah, if you put someone here,
would I just hang out at sea, or like what's the?
No, I think you can. You would be able to just move in.
So basically, could I come in on my move step and then just take this little city?
Let me check the rules. So it does say units on sea hexes attack only those German units on coastal hexes. Let's assume there is one German. Allied units that are moved from a front sea hex to a vacant coastal hex must attack all German units whose zone of control they are in. So once you have this unit here that will come here, they will have to attack this unit.
Actually, they shouldn't have to because they are on. That's like a. Isn't the fortress the thing with the hatch marks and the red around it? And that means that I could technically ignore this if I wanted to.
Maybe, yeah. Wait a minute.
And so we could ignore each other, but I could also choose violence. But it triples your defense.
Players may attack a German unit on a coastal hex from both sea hexes and land hexes, resolving it as one battle. An attack by 2 allied units on the same sea hex against more than 1 German unit on a coastal hex must be resolved as one battle. It cannot be split into 2 battles. Okay.
Fascinating. The other thing is, if I come here, who am I really fighting here if I come here? Like, does this thing affect me at all? Or can I just come here and the arrow points here and I'm just...
No, so if you come here, you will only attack this. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But what I mean is, like, I know that you can get trapped between hexes on the map, but is the sea space different?
Oh.
So, like, I could put... Like, I could do this. And then I have 3 parachute guys. So I could do like this.
Yep.
And pop in behind. It's actually within 5 spaces, right?
Yeah, but I'm not sure you can go into a zone of control with parachutes.
Why not? And the whole point that it's behind enemy lines. It just says
but it's just the zone of control itself. Wait a minute. There was something that I...
This sounds like some French BS to me.
Well, I actually want you to win.
So okay. Use of parachute units.
Yeah, at this point historically, German parachute units like the train, blah, 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 blah. Allied parachutes can be used in airdrop as follows. Each parachute unit may be dropped twice per game. Units must be dropped within 5 hexes of the closest allied combat unit. Units cannot be dropped directly onto an enemy-controlled hex. No. Enemy-controlled hex. So it doesn't say anything about... You can't drop them on
mountain or sea.
Yeah, but I would say it's weird that they're saying this because they never say that we can actually share a hex anyway. So
yeah,
but it doesn't say anything about zones of control. So I think it's fine. You can do that actually. I thought that this line was about zones of control, but apparently not. Of course,
Yeah,
if
and then
someone
you can
in
only
the chat,
drop each unit twice, but I don't know if I want to drop. So I can just put them on as a regular infantry and then drop them later if I want to, right? Is that
yep.
do I understand that correctly?
So
So I could
sorry,
come
what?
like here.
Yeah.
So basically, it says that you can only drop them twice per game. So I don't necessarily want to drop both of my units now. I might like get them killed and want to do it in a later week or something. So you can also play them like normal infantry. So could I play this one here and then drop it in the future, and that would be the first drop?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. How do you track that they've been dropped?
I don't know. I have no clue. But it says you can only drop them twice
The same
per
terms.
game.
Once drop parachute units are treated as the same as normal land units. To perform an airdrop of a unit already on land, simply transform its current location to any hex on board you wish. The placement of a parachute unit on a sea hex in the invasion turn does not constitute an airdrop. Interesting.
Very.
Yeah, and there were a couple of things that I think are not super clear in the rules. There are a few,
No.
quite a few
Like
edge
it's
cases.
really simple, but
Yeah,
there's
it's a
like
bit-
lots of edgy stuff going on.
Yeah, and actually, they are not really that edgy. You're looking, well, like if I have a front of 3 units against 3 units, do I have to do 1-1-1, or can I do 2-1-1-1? It doesn't specify that you have to fight all of the units that you're in contact with. And it's a bit weird because you're like, well, I kind of need to know because that changes quite a lot of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway.
Okay. So let's just go with this setup. And you know what? If I messed up, I messed up. But I dropped 6 infantry and 2 parachute people. And I feel like if Easy Company can help me out, that'd be great.
Yeah. And I think that we have Matthias in the chat that probably has played the game. So Matthias, if you know, if you can help and clarify some stuff, let us know if there is anything. And welcome here. I don't think we've seen you in streams before. So the numbers are for the advanced version of the game where you have actually supplies, but we're not playing with this. We're just playing the dummy dum dum version.
Yes, I need the Can I Play Daddy version.
The what?
Have you ever played Wolfenstein?
Yeah.
Video game? That level where
Oh
you
yeah,
like a baby?
Yeah, yes. Yeah. So we're playing the simpler one. Okay. So this is your setup. This is what you've done. You could have 3 parachutes. You only use 1.
Oh wait, I've used 2, but let me put that third one in because I should use everything I've got. Let's do it. Let's put this one in.
Where is this? I don't see the second one. Oh, you've put it on the C hex. Okay.
I have, because I didn't want to drop everything right now if you can only drop things twice per game. This doesn't count as a drop. So
and it doesn't count as a drop. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That was the thought anyway. Okay, so I've done my setup. And then now we do how to invade.
And actually, I think Stuart actually makes a solid point here. If you don't play the rules wrong, are you even really wargaming? I think that's really fair.
That makes it qualify as not a real war game. It doesn't count anymore. No longer eligible for a Charles S. Roberts Award.
and Matthias is already like saying, please don't ask me anything. I'm just here by accident. I didn't want to be here. I saw lights and I got confused. I don't want to be asked any question. That's fair, Matthias. Yeah, just enjoy.
Oh man. Pierre brings up a great comment, by the way.
Yeah, that's something that we discussed about actually during the previous. And yeah, because the first is 61. And 61, that's literally 16 years, or 17 years, right? It's like it's nothing. It's really, really impressive. And this one was 21 years after the fact. So it's actually pretty crazy how close it is to the event.
Yeah, like D-Day has just gotten old enough to drink at the point of this particular iteration. Like.
Yep. And we're actually talking about the fact that they were thinking about making games on the Vietnam War also while it was happening. Was actually quite interesting. I really recommend that you watch those videos. Anyway,
especially because it's such a direct corollary to like, is it okay to make a Ukraine game right now?
Yeah.
Okay, how to invade. Preliminary play the first week. is my selection of the invasion site. Yes, I can choose any one of the 7 areas. I did it. I put my people. Okay. Cannot invade with more units than allowed under first turn. Of course, got it. I could invade with less if I wish, but why would I ever do that?
Yeah, that would be really weird.
Let's see. Units that are placed on sea hexes whose arrows point to vacant coastal hexes must be moved onto those hexes, even if such movement places them adjacent to German units on other land hexes. Inland movement is not allowed. I can only move to the coast.
Yep.
Okay, so is it my turn first? Is that what I'm doing?
Yep.
All right, so basically these move in.
Yes.
And everybody else attacks from the sea.
Yeah.
And this will attack here. So now we get to do math.
Yeah.
Ooh,
so
math.
which one do you want to do first? Do we want to do the easy one first, maybe?
Yeah. Which one's the easy one?
This one is the easy one.
Yeah.
So you attack at 8. So we take the 2 attack strength of 4. You take the defense strength. So 8 to 2. That's an odds ratio of 4 to 1.
Yes.
If we look 41, basically there might be an exchange, but there is actually a lot of chances that I'm going to be either eliminated or we'll have to move back 2 hexes.
Bite me. All right. So where do we roll? I don't even know.
So
what the
you have a dice in the so you have roll 1d6. You can press F4 or you can click on the dice in the menu bar.
Oh, I got it. All right. I shall roll.
So
I rolled and got a 2.
And a 2 is an exchange.
This is BS.
Yeah, this is pretty shit.
It's merde. Let's put it that way.
It's merde, exactly.
So that means I lose a guy and you lose a guy, yeah?
Yep. And the thing, there is no step losses. So actually, he dies. Or I'm going to make a pile of death so we can keep track. So this one dies.
Pile of death. Yes.
This one dies. And
yes.
I think and now that the hex is
vacated, do I advance onto the coastal hex?
I would say so, yeah. I think there was something regarding invasion attack. Victorious assault units must be moved onto vacant coastal hex. Within the same terms. Yeah, so you do that. Perfect.
No, that wasn't perfect. That roll sucked.
I think it was okay. You're doing an amphibious assault. You should have some damage.
No, this should go perfect. All right. So here we have. Okay, actually, let's do up here first, maybe. So do I have to attack this, and what order do we resolve it in?
So you need to really do some alt click, because if you say this and this, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, sorry. Here.
Yeah.
Can I attack here before here? Because this guy is touching both.
Yeah, you choose
and
the order.
I don't know how that actually works.
And that's the thing. So this is a perfect example of what I was saying earlier, that the rules doesn't clarify. Is I expect that each unit can only attack once. And the question is, do you have to attack all of the units you are in the zone of control of? Because if that's the case, this one needs to attack this one, and this one needs to attack this one. And that's the thing that I'm a bit
but that's not why I dropped them there. I dropped them behind to hit that one, and I maybe misunderstood, or...
Yeah, light player moves when he moves, he then considers then new units may be moved in, blah, blah, blah. So attacking units and its turn as it enters the first enemy controlled hex. But you see, so okay, so that's the thing. That's really interesting. So they don't specify what I mean by an enemy control hex, but actually, when you read the process for attacking, an enemy control hex is a zone of control hex. I assume it's anything in the
ring that's around.
Yeah. So actually, this unit here.
Yeah.
This couldn't have landed here. It could have been here, though. Yeah. So
all right, well, let's just say.
But then you could actually have.
But then I could have moved him
exactly during your turn, or even better, though, you could have moved here.
I could have.
But you would have landed here anyway, so you can take it back and choose, or you can even move here if you want to start attacking this.
Yeah. Are there any interesting fortification rules about cities that I want to know?
So the thing that you want to do is if it's
because there's no red border.
I think it's if it's hashed is so it's a fortified zone.
Only if it's got red around it, though, because there's a difference between a city and a fortress.
That's
So a
interesting.
city is a hex that has black crisscross lines, but a fortress is any hex outlined with a red border.
So units in fortress have no zones of control. Oh, over adjacent hexes. So
Yeah, so fortress is different, but a city is not a fortress. A city is
oh,
something else. It's interesting, we looked at these rules and we're like, it's simple, but then you start to play it and you're like, and then you think about like that magazine being like, this is so hard for 12-year-olds to figure out, and I'm like, well, what the F were the 12-year-olds doing though?
interesting.
They were unsupervised 12-year-olds.
Yeah, actually, and there is nothing for the. So I would say this. I think the rules
I think
are.
it's just a normal space.
Yeah, it's just a normal space, actually. Okay.
But I could be wrong. I don't know.
No, it looks like it.
Okay, so then what I'll do is I'll come here and try to overpower you with my 3/3/3. But what I could do is, can I resolve the battles in order?
I believe it's the phasing player who decides in which order the battles are.
Okay, so if I did this one first and moved in here, how does that impact this battle?
I think units move on to see. Sorry, what I was trying to.
Like, if let's say that I fight here, right? I definitely want to come in.
Yeah.
Then, how does that impact the second battle that would happen once I automatically move on to the coast?
But that's well, the way it will impact it is that this one, if I have a retreat result,
yeah,
with this one, then it would have nowhere to retreat, and it would kill it. Yeah.
But you'll
so
have
it
a
makes
place to retreat though, because you can move.
Nope.
Ooh.
No, I wouldn't. Yeah. If this comes here, I have nothing that is not in a zone of control of one of your units.
Fascinating. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this battle first. So I've got 2 infantry stacked there. With that means that my attack is 8. Your defense is 4.
And note where there are actually no DRMs. It's you will just modify the defense value on if you're behind a C. But on this one, yeah, so 8-2, so that's 4-1,
yeah,
so
4-1
it's
again.
The same. Yeah.
I was worried. I thought there were 2 there for some reason, but it was just that it was highlighted. Okay, let's roll.
So
a 5. There we go.
And actually, that's pretty good for me. Defender back 2. So that's nice. So I cannot move here, but I can do 1 and 2, I guess. Yeah.
Cowards, a lot of you, and I move in, right?
Yeah.
My city. Okay. And then we'll resolve here, but this is just a 3-2, so it's not quite. No. Yeah, it's just a 3. So it's just 3-2. So it's actually not quite as.
It should be 3-2. I'm going to check if there is a column, but I would expect that it would be a 1-1. Yeah, it would be on 1-1.
This sounds like BS to me too. All right, let's roll. So, it's
still defender eliminated, so that's good. It's so the thing is that rolling high or low doesn't really matter.
It doesn't really matter. Yeah, I can't see the chart. I don't actually even know how to find the chart in Vassal.
So if you click on, so you have report, and next to report you have a spreadsheet looking kind of thing.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, and you have the chart there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and actually Chris is saying something interesting regarding the timing that we have today. A friend of him was fighting Fallujah and was shocked to see someone had the thought of turning it into a game. So that's Phantom Fury. And actually there is another game that kind of created that reaction. I think this one, Nineveh, also very close to the actual topic. And yeah, I think it's definitely something to think about. Usually those games are based on actual research and feedbacks and accounts from soldiers that were on the ground and everything. So it's not like they are doing any random thing, but I can totally understand that it might be a bit shocking for sure. Yeah. Anyway, so that was your attacks, and then you have one more attack to do.
Yeah, so this one's a fortified space, which means that your defense is triple. So you got a 6
defense. Is it tripled or doubled?
It's tripled. I do believe.
So fortresses, there is no change. Differing, blah, blah, blah. The attacker units fortress do not have
the defense factor. Oh, it's just doubled.
Yeah, That's what I
Okay,
thought.
good.
And actually, yeah, I don't have to attack, but you have to. So
I want to. And you
yeah,
got 2 guys on each side. So basically you're sitting there at a 4,
yeah.
but I have an 8 and then I add and then the 6 is in there as well. So it's 14.
So you have 8, 14
So I
against
think that might be an
4.
automatic win because if wait, no,
No, it's not.
not
Yeah,
quite, not quite.
you're
So you're at a 4.
you're 7-2. So 7-2 is gonna be a 3-1. Yeah,
Okay.
3-1.
All right. I got a
And
3.
you
What's that
rolled
mean?
a 3, and 3 is defender back 2. That's gonna be interesting because
Where are you gonna go?
yeah. Do I have to retreat when I'm in the? I'm gonna check if they had those kind of rules or not, because
Because if you can, I can see you moving 1, but I don't know how you move 2.
I cannot move 2. Units adjacent to the defense factor of all units. Actually, it triples. You're right. The defense factor of all units triples when attacked while in a fortress. So wait a minute. So actually,
Uh-oh.
it was 14-6.
Okay.
So it was
So let's just keep that
7-3.
same roll.
Yeah, 7-3. So that's one. That was 1-2. Sorry, and 1-2, and you rolled a 3. And let's attack your back 2. But if you are in the sea, what happens if you have to
I don't
retreat?
know.
Yeah,
Do I just hang out in the sea?
I have no idea.
I have no
Let
clue.
me check. Yeah. What happens when you retreat? Oh my god, those rules are a mess. It's all over the place. So when you have to find
You know
rules
what's
for
so funny is
attack and
that as we
defense,
looked at this and we thought this was going to be so simple.
yeah,
Oh,
but the thing
you
is
just
that,
move and attack, and then they just move and attack, and this will be no
but
problem, and then oops.
but the rules are so poorly organized. Like everything that relates to fighting is actually in all the different sections of the game. Wait a minute. So back to all using units must retreat when they're full 2 hexes. Retreat can be through friendly units, across rivers, and over.
Okay, it says
However,
retreating units are eliminated if the only available retreat route forces them into or through enemies under control, off the board, into the sea,
okay,
across. So does it eliminate both or just one?
I think it's gonna eliminate everything.
What's its? Let me look at it. Let's see. It was 2-1, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. So A back 2.
Oh, that's really awful.
Yeah, that sucks. This sounds like BS to me.
Yeah.
Does it eliminate all the units too?
Well, that's gonna eliminate
like all 4.
Yeah, all 4.
Woo!
That's wow. That's super spicy.
Interesting. Well, I guess we'll just have to live with it.
Oh my god! But that's awful.
That's a little crazy.
Yeah, that's a bit bonkers.
I'm not really sure we interpreted that right, but we'll just go with it.
Yeah, if someone has played D-Day, please let us know, and please don't use this as a way to learn the game.
Yeah, no, this is a great way to like play it wrong.
Okay, cool. And we're just playing the basic rule, 4 pages of rules, and it's very
well. It's one of those things, right? Where like, okay, if you think about this period in time, though, like there wasn't a huge wargame community. Also, there are lots of little questions and comments and complaints, like in the general.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
we've read, and so like, it's clear that from early on, right? Like you've kind of got community interaction. This is already like a reprint of this game, so there've been changes already. So there's all kinds of stuff going on with this.
I just want to check this to see if it could have happened. So multiple unit battles. When 2 or more units attack one defending unit, the attack factors of the units must be total. Okay. When 1 unit attacks 2 or more defending units, the defense factor. Okay. When several units attack several defending units, the attacker has the choice of dividing combat into 1 or more than 1 battle, as long as he battles every defending unit. That is, so you have to battle every defending unit. So it does specify it. And he battles every defending unit whose zone of control has been attacked. Okay. Yeah, so you had no choice, actually. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it was a good effort.
Yeah. Well. So Cherbourg holds. Okay, so that's the end of your turn, I believe.
Yeah.
So now it's going to be my turn. I don't think I have any reinforcements in this game, right? I don't think so.
at some point you'll start getting some, but it's not until like later. It's like week.
But I don't. Where do I see that? Because I was expecting to see it on the board, but I don't see
Its
it.
stuff comes from the dead pool.
Oh, cool.
So you
Okay.
reinforce from your dead. So basically, I'll do that too earlier than you actually. Based on what I remember reading earlier today.
So the question that I have
Replacements.
is,
From 9th week on, the allied player receives replacements from the dead pile. The replacement rate is 2 attack factors. I don't actually know what that is. Per turn maximum. And they can consist of units of any kind except HQ and parachute. Unused replacement allowances may be accumulated. Replacements are brought into the con in the same manner as reinforcements. Replacements plus reinforcements cannot exceed the maximums stated by troop invasion tables. Then from the 16th week on, you start receiving replacements from the dead pile. But I get to do it earlier than you.
okay. Interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, the problem is, trying to figure out how to do that.
I feel like this has the same vibes as when you played retro video games and wanted to call the Nintendo hotline.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's actually tricky. The thing, so you see, for example, this unit, I would like to put it here. The problem is if I put it here, I have to attack you. And I don't want to do that. Like, that's going to be awful for me.
Come on.
So that's actually tricky. So what I'm thinking is, 1, 2, 3. We can do 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. So I'm going to start preparing a pocket for you. And you have to keep on going in Normandy. You cannot change. That's your landing zone now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I'm actually, so everything can move. I can start slowly moving like this. One, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to start making a nice pocket. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Ooh,
sorry.
Interesting.
I'm going to do this to have a zone of control here, and then 1, 2, and place this here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not sure. 2, 3, 4. But I'm going to clean up the moves to make sure. All right. Okay. 2, 3, 4.
Oof.
So those are my panzer. They're coming.
Uh-oh.
They were stationed in Orléans, waiting to know what was going to happen. Wait. This is a big stack. It shouldn't be like this.
I'd be feeling better if I hadn't rolled so bad.
Yeah, I think this first roll was pretty awful. Definitely. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oof.
Yeah, I think I'm probably not gonna move stuff from here just in case, but I'm not even sure I need that. I'm gonna move 1, 2, 3 across here. Then I'm gonna move this 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So those stars are my reinforcement hexes. So that's the thing, is that I'm pretty far away. 2, 3, 4, and I'm trying to avoid the mountains. 1, 2, 3. And I think that's pretty much it. I'm not planning on doing anything more. I think that's going to be I'm going to try to lock that zone here as much as I can.
No.
Yeah, and see what's gonna happen. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me, I guess.
All right, I guess we'll have to see if I can bust out. Okay, so I'm gonna get 2 armored and 4 infantry units on this second turn.
Yeah.
If I can only stack 2.
So definitely, I would leave Cherbourg alone. I think that's too much of a risk.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just land. Yeah, somewhere. Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. Ooh. Maybe we'll come in here.
Yeah, Stuart, you're right. You can rant a bit about this rulebook. It's a bit all over the place, but it's
I won't say I'm
interesting.
impressed with that, but
it's the first one.
It's the first one. We're gonna forgive it. It clearly excited people and made people really happy, so that's fine. What is these? I don't know what the numbers of this are, but
I think that's a really good point, definitely, and that's the thing. That's why I'm actually pretty excited that Pierre found a copy, because I think after we're playing tonight, I will be playing this weekend with Pierre, and I think it will go way more smoothly, and we'll probably play the advanced rules.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah. And Joe just said zombie Nazis, and I'm not sure why.
We're gonna go with it.
Yeah, that's fine. Joe can say whatever he wants here.
Okay, so I've got my little coastal people.
Yep.
And now I can move, right?
Yeah. So I would definitely move the ones that are already on land before.
Yeah. So okay, this has a move factor of 4, so this is gonna go 1, 2, and then we could pick up and come over to one of these. Yeah, but the thing is,
you're gonna have to.
How does this work?
Away.
If I come between them, how does that work in terms of combat numbers?
So you will need to be able to fight every unit that you are in the zone of control of. So if you go here, you will have to fight this unit and this unit. You have no choice.
And I have to do all my movement before I attack, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Brutal. But I can choose the attack order, right?
Yeah.
So I could do like this and that.
Yes.
And then these guys will just kind of pop on wherever the arrow says they're supposed to.
Yeah.
Like that.
The problem here is that those ones are going to have to attack this.
Yeah. No, they don't.
Yeah.
It's a fortress. I can ignore it.
No, I can not attack you if I want.
I can ignore you. It said I could.
Does it? I thought it was the other way around.
No, I think it's both ways. Fortresses. Units in fortresses have no zones of control. Thus, enemy units can pass right by without having to stop and attack.
Nice. That's good.
So this time I learned my lesson.
Yeah, you don't want to
I ignore you.
Yeah.
And then if you mess with me, you're going to be using your crappy little attack number. So I don't think you're going to mess with me either, actually.
Yeah, it's 1 against 8. That would be an auto loss.
It's a terrible idea. No, do it. So, okay, I moved all my little people.
Yeah.
I'm also attacking across a river. There's some sort of consequence for that.
So that's going to double my defense factor, I believe.
Let's see.
So rivers, there are no chances. Differing from normal units adjacent to rivers, there's no zone control.
Interesting. The attacker may move units next to enemy units separated by a river without attacking, although he has the option to do so. If he does attack, then all adjacent units across the river must be fought.
Yeah.
Units adjacent to more than one river line, blah, blah, blah.
And the defense factor of all units double when attacked from across the river. Yeah, so I would be a 4, but that's fine.
I'm at an 8.
Yeah.
It's a 2 to 1, and then I have adjacency with these guys, right? So the question is, if I attack here, I have 2 questions.
You need to give a unit. You need to keep a unit available to attack here.
Well, actually, the question I have is, if I don't have to attack y'all, then can't I just attack here and deal with that?
You don't have to attack that unit.
No, so and then if I do use this one to attack this one, though, does that mean that this one's numbers no longer count because it's already fought this turn, or because it's adjacent, does it lend its numbers anyway?
And that's the thing that I'm unsure. I would expect that you can only attack once, because it does say that you would split them and probably have bad odds for one and better odds for the other.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I
no
definitely want to
unit
kill.
attacking or defending may fight in more than one battle in any one player's turn. Yeah.
So it can fight in more than one.
No, you
No,
cannot.
no.
Yeah.
Yes, I said new. I was like, well, okay. So let's go ahead and attack this. It's a 6
Yeah,
to
no,
2.
it's not a DRM. It's not a DRM. It's just it's not it's definitely not the DRM. It's just changing the combat factor.
So that puts us at 3 to 1.
So you are
6 to
attacking
2?
here at 7 to 2. 7 to 2. Yeah, so that would be
7
3
to
to
2.
1.
Yeah. Okay. So I got
And
a
you roll
2.
the 2, and that's an exchange.
Trash.
So this one dies. You might want to. Do you want to kill the parachutes or not?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just looking. I don't even know how to pull these apart. Here we
go. So if you double click on it.
Well, I'm gonna get more infantry. I'll keep my little teleport men.
And I think you have to advance after combat. Do you?
Do you?
Or I'm not sure. I have it down now. So movement after
combat.
I had to come off the units may cross river. Attacking units may move onto city for vacated by the defeated enemy. Yeah, no, actually no. That's not a.
I think I'm gonna hang out here and make it. I don't know. Make things more irritating for you. I'm not sure. I don't know what actually is smart because I don't know if I want to just come here and get into it for what. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to make you come to me a little bit. And leave that city. I don't know. And then the question is, do I attack this across the river or not? I guess my thought is we have half an hour left of this stream. So we should just do it, right?
I would wait.
You would wait. Yeah, okay. That's probably right.
Yeah. Or maybe not. I don't
know. I mean, you will be dealing with adjacent units on your attack.
Yeah.
Regardless.
But not across the river. That's the thing. I could reinforce across the river. So you maybe it's the better odds that you'll have right now. Because then after I would actually move in.
Let's just try it. I mean, it's a game. It's just a game, as they say.
Yeah.
So this would be 8.
So it's 2 to 1.
2 to 1. Ugh.
2 to 1, you roll the 2, and it's an exchange.
Okay.
It's not too bad.
Could be worse.
Yeah, could have been worse.
I'm just killing everybody, but you know.
Yeah, I feel like you're getting quite a lot of damage.
No, hang on. There were 2 though.
Yeah. Unstack them.
I'll just put that single one.
Yeah. Oops, sorry. Yeah, I moved it. My bad.
Okay, we're good. Set. All right.
Good. So back to me.
Yeah.
Do you want to go across the river though?
Do I?
It's pretty up to you.
Can my people back me up from across the river, or am I just going over there by myself to get?
You're going to be on yourself if you go there. Yeah.
You know what? I think against your little 0 guy. Well, this 443 is here.
Yeah, and so we have panzers coming in. So that's the thing that you want to keep in mind.
No, I think I'll keep it together. We might try to go like a longer route.
Okay.
We'll see.
Good. So back to me then. So week 2. Well, I guess that what I would do now is I'm gonna move here.
It's only been 2 weeks. It's a long 2 weeks.
Yeah. I'm gonna move here like this. I'm gonna move here like that. And actually, I'm gonna do 1, 2.
Oh God!
And come here. I've got the panzers coming in.
That's brutal.
So that's and I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm just gonna brutalize those.
Wait, how many are in this stack? It's only 3. Jeez.
1, 2, 4. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4.
I hope you feel good about yourself, Fred.
Yeah, I do.
About how you represent.
Yeah. It doesn't look like France is gonna be free anytime soon.
And it's your fault.
Yeah, I feel awful. Kind of. Wait a minute. And I think I actually don't need to. I'm gonna bring more just in case. 1, 2, 3 next to Chartres, just in case. And then I'm gonna start moving those guys. 1, 2, 3. Getting close to Paris. The guy in Lyon are gonna stay there, and yeah, the second Panzer is gonna start their long journey across the center of France. They're next to Dijon, and actually, I don't feel like I need to move much other stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna keep this here just in case, and
Oof.
1, 2, 3 across Belgium. But I feel good. I feel good about this.
Oh no.
Actually, I think I'm yeah, and actually, so that's the thing that I was wondering: is there any risk of Liz launching another
Yeah,
invasion
that's what
site?
I wonder about too. Because like, do I have to just keep funneling into here? Because this seems pretty shit to me. So,
Yeah, and that's the thing that
like, am
I'm
I stuck
wondering.
with the
Yeah,
choice that I made? Because I
and it
mean, the
looks like
allies
it's
in real life weren't.
no, exactly. So the thing is that they started here, and then we were talking about it, and then they started doing it here, like
Yeah.
like some weeks later. The
So like, am
problem
I?
is that I don't see anything in the rules, but it's covering 50 weeks, so it should give the option to do
Right?
something else.
But it doesn't say. And like the other thing is that like these turn 1, turn 2 rules, you know, like there's different numbers of units that you're allowed based on what you chose.
Yeah.
So does that mean that I'm like stuck with this? Because I definitely don't know that I would choose this spot again now that I see how tight it really is, you know?
Yeah, it's a tight spot. Yeah, and there are
But
rivers.
like, I
Yeah,
also didn't really think that I would be stuck with it the whole game. But now I wonder, based on these rules, if I am.
yeah. The problem that you will have in doing it Pat Cadé is that I have a lot more fortresses, so that
Yeah,
limits quite a lot your points of entries. I would say that often in war games, a good place to actually do the D-Day is actually often Brittany,
yeah.
uh,
Which I
because
thought
the
about, but now I just had to pick something spicy.
it's often Brittany, and the thing is that it works in war games because you don't have to sort the whole logistic of actually doing a D-Day in Brittany. You can just place your units there, which is
Yeah.
pretty good. Yeah, but yeah.
Like, I
Okay,
don't even know. You might get an elimination victory really quick on this.
I might. Yeah. So actually, you will have the option to put 9 division now, and 9 division is gonna get pretty spicy for me. Uh, so but I think we're gonna have a sort of like trench warfare here, and then
Yeah,
everything is gonna be on those 3 hexes here, and
yeah.
I'm gonna push as much as I can, but I think I'm gonna have some holes, but it's gonna be trench warfare from here,
That's
I think.
tough. All right, so I just
And Corey is reminding you, remember, Fred needs to lose. I'm not sure it's gonna happen, but yeah.
yeah, I actually don't see how that's based on this. So I don't know. I guess it depends on what entry site you choose, right? Like I picked something that seems sort of like a classic choice, but I also did not realize that I would be limited to this spot. Or are we? Like, am I wrong about that? It doesn't
Honestly, I think if
seem
you hadn't done the
rational.
attack on if you hadn't done the attack on Cherbourg, which the Allies didn't do historically, they didn't take
Yeah,
care of Cherbourg
I wanted
before.
to see what would happen because I wanted to know
Yeah,
the combat rules, but maybe that was a
be,
mistake.
be, yeah.
I
Before
after I'd
before
have
they
found out.
went, before they had actually a really good foothold and everything, then they
Yeah,
actually got rid of this. But that was like not really important because
yeah,
they
yeah.
had all of their supply lines in
I
here
guess I
anyway.
was worried that you could come in behind me, but I guess not.
Yeah, it was a one combat factor unit. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think.
Okay, so I could put 9 units. Does it matter which ones they are? Can I just put 9 of anything?
Yeah. So it's gonna be 9 divisions. So that's gonna be the ones with the 2 hexes on top. Uh,
2 X's on top.
yeah, and then you can also have some HQs, which
Okay.
I don't really
I don't.
understand what they
I
do.
think that they matter more for supply, and since we're playing basics, it's
Yeah.
like it doesn't really matter. So let's do this. We're gonna put a couple little 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do. I'll leave it like more neat. 5, 6. Maybe 7, 8. And then I can teleport my parachute guy somewhere or drop one in, right? Just gonna see what
Yeah.
happens.
So you've got this one that I can actually move 5 away.
I guess I'm wondering if that's a good idea or not.
Yeah, it looks like being behind the enemy lines now is
Maybe not
actually
great.
almost a death, like a death sentence.
Although 1, 2, 3, 4.
What could be what could I would keep it for when you
Yeah,
have
for
an
later.
attack that you think you're probably gonna win, and you want to make sure that the unit dies, even if it's
Yeah,
retreating.
I'm just gonna pop an
So
extra infantry here, and so
yeah,
basically, let's move, and then I'll pop everybody onto land where I vacate. So I probably want to do like maybe like this.
yeah,
Let's just come right up in here. And then we'll come up in here. Although, if you can't retreat, that can be tough. So maybe we want to come here. And we'll do that. This is already a little tight for me. I can accidentally kill some of my units if I get retreat rolls.
yeah.
Oh, and then... Hold up. I should have moved these
Yeah,
guys here.
yeah,
Let's
those
just
guys
say I went
shouldn't.
here.
Yeah,
We'll go like that. So it's very tight. It's not great, but it is what it is. Let's say that these dudes went here just to offer one retreat spot for somebody. Okay.
yeah. The problem is that if you have to retreat 2, you're gonna be in a
Yeah, oh
really
yeah, I'm
tough
gonna have
spot.
world of hurt.
Because
All
you can
right.
actually move through when you retreat. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's tough. Hmm.
So do you want to have
Oh, and this one
something
can move
available
together with this
2
one's like that,
away?
or huh?
Yeah. So you often have to retreat back 2. So actually,
Yeah, but how am I supposed to get enough guys in there if I don't?
yeah. But what I mean is that, for example, here, if you're planning on attacking with this unit,
Yeah.
I would actually have those units coming in here, because then you can retreat through occupied hexes,
Here's the ones who moved
and
in.
and this one would be 2
Yeah,
away.
that's a
Yeah.
good
So
idea.
yeah.
Okay.
So you have actually more options
Yes, that's
for
probably right.
retreating. Yeah.
So I would definitely. Let's see. If I attack these, what's that defense factor? It's everything combined, right? Though, because is it with adjacent units as well?
Yeah. So
9, 11,
you don't have to
13?
fight across the river. That's not mandatory. The only mandatory fight that you have is from here to here.
Right.
And that should be an easy one. It's 8 to 3. Yeah. So that's 1 to 2.
Yeah, and you're let me look at your attack situation. Oh, this is not fun. Okay. But yeah, I'd rather maybe make you attack across the river.
Yeah.
So attacking here, not so bad. So it's 3 against 8. So what's that? 2 to 4?
So which one?
2.
Yeah, 1 to 2. Yeah, for
Yeah,
this
1 to 2.
one. Yeah, for this one it's
Yeah.
it's a 1 to 2. Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's just do what we can. Got to do something.
Oh, sorry, I rolled, but I didn't want to roll. I wanted to show the
Oh, we can
combat
keep that. I'm
results.
joking. Oh, it's a 2.
It's a 2, and that's actually an exchange. Yeah.
This is tough on me. Like, this is not going well.
I'm gonna kill this thing. Yeah, it's not going great. I will give
No.
you that.
No.
And then, do you want to do an attack across the river?
I don't think so.
Yeah, you're gonna be at 7 to 4. Yeah, that's probably
Yeah, it's not great. I'd rather you have to do it or move.
Actually, I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna do it. I just think that, yeah, what I'm gonna do. So that's back to me.
Yeah.
So I guess what I will do is I'm gonna make a stack of shitty units, and then I'm gonna have this coming in. Then I'm gonna have this coming in, and then I'm gonna stay where I am. So that's gonna be 1, 2. This one is gonna be 1, 2, and he's gonna reinforce what it has to, depending. 1,
You're a
2,
monster.
1, 2, 3. And yeah, my panzers are gonna keep on moving. 1, 2, 3, 4.
We're on what, the 3rd turn?
Yeah, we are just finishing the 3rd turn.
Oh, geez. Okay, it says in a tournament game, after the turn 8, the allied player can have an option of conducting another invasion.
Yeah, okay, that would make a lot of sense.
That's forever. That's forever. Yeah. Like.
So Joey's saying that real life D-Day was also pretty tough, and actually, I think in week 3, being stuck here is not that
abnormal.
Historical. Yeah.
No, it's probably pretty normal. The problem is I don't know how I can put more units in here right now because I feel kind of full.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, I guess that's 1, 2.
So
3.
like, What do I do with that?
1,
You know what I
2,
mean?
3, 4. So,
Like, I would like to put more units on the board, obviously, to have more stuff, but I don't feel like I could safely break out.
yeah. I guess yeah, it's really a tough one.
Ugh.
Yeah, and I think I'm done. And yeah, actually, I think that landing in Bay of Biscay was definitely a valid option. I almost
Yeah.
had no units there.
Yeah, maybe that's what I should have done, because I could have just been running.
Yeah, and you could have been running. The problem that you have with the Bay of Biscay strategy, I think,
Yeah.
is when I was looking into it, is that actually I have enough time to put quite a few units behind the Loire and actually make a sort of a really good buffer.
Yeah.
And that would make it pretty hard for Liz to do. Like, I think because she has to cross the Loire, and then when she's done with the Loire, she has to cross the Seine, and I have so much time to actually prepare.
Yeah.
So that's also the thing. I think the option of a second landing site is for me
Important,
what
actually.
probably so important, because I
Because
wouldn't
I could
do
just
what I'm
hold
doing right
down
now.
here, and then I could just pop in and run.
Yeah. Because right now I'm actually, the way I'm committing those units, I'm like, I would never do this if I knew that in 4 turns from now you could actually land somewhere else. I
Yeah,
wouldn't be
I think
doing
it
what
would
I'm
really
doing here.
change
Yeah.
the narrative there. Ooh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what we're saying. Yeah. So that's, now I have to fight, and there is only one fight, and that's going to be a brutal one. So 8. Do I want to strengthen that? I might want to have this coming in here instead. Yeah. So that's 12. Yeah, those I'm just going to do, because those are useless. So I'm just going to do 12 to 4. So that's going to be a 3 to 1. I rolled a 2, 3 to 1. I rolled a 2. That's an exchange. And actually, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with an exchange.
Ugh. All right, and then it's my go again?
Yeah, it's your go.
Can I move these guys before I put people out on the coast? I know that's probably not the correct order, but I can't. I'm having a hard time like planning out.
So, yeah, I think it's fine. We can do that. That's okay, because it wouldn't change anything.
Not
Just
really,
do your
no.
moves. Yeah.
I just want to move the guys on land and then put
Yeah.
people on the sea if I want to at that point.
Yeah.
What is a good idea for me? Maybe.
Well, my weakest point is definitely here.
Yeah.
The problem is that if you go
The problem
here,
is that you are next to things that are.
Yeah, exactly. And because all of this is like, that's going to be unbreakable. Like, I double, so I'm basically on this one I'm at 22 defending here.
Yeah, that's bad.
And on this one I'm at 12, so that's really brutal. My weakest point is really here. I have 8 and 6, and I think you have to go through that. And probably what I would do if I were you is put a lot of units here, and then put a unit that you want to sacrifice here that has to fight against everything else.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the thing. You have to fight against everything else. So you need at least 2 units,
everything.
one to attack here, one to attack here, and then to have 2 units to attack here. Oh, that's really awful.
It's also it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
But do I actually have to though? Because like if I just pick a battle, because the problem is that this is the spot, right? Like, oh Jesus.
Yeah, and you have to fight against every unit that you are in a position to attack. So you would need ideally 2 units here that you're going to sacrifice. One is going to fight this, the other is going to fight this, and then you stack 2 here to attack those 3. And here, I don't know what you have available, but it's a 6.
So something like this and this.
Yeah.
And then what? Like, did they mention this rules like I can soak somebody off, basically?
Yeah.
Okay, so how does this work?
So here, one of this is going to fight this. One of this is going to fight that. And then those 2 are going to be able to fight this.
Yep. That sounds about right. That sucks.
That sounds pretty awful, because you're at 1 against 3 on the first battle.
Yep. The other thing, though, is I want to think about, before we do any of that, let's move people in.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Let's
and actually,
go
1 against 3 is not too bad, because like the most probable outcome is that you're going to retreat. And actually, that's the thing. You're pushing through, you're coming, you're sucking up, like you're occupying part of my front, going back, moving in, going back. And then you can actually focus on punching a hole somewhere. And if you can push a hole in Avranches, I think that's actually what happened. You had the British here and the Americans here, and they broke the line here, and then they went up back here.
Yeah, I'm not putting my full number of guys in, but I'm just making sure that somebody comes in off the water.
Yeah.
Just because I know this is a little tight. But yeah, okay, now let's do our battle. So we'll do this one like that. It's going to be just a roll, but those odds are terrible. So what are the odds on this?
So this one, if you have a 4 unit attacking this, so it's you are at 1 against 3. So you have 2 chances out of 3 of retreating twice, or 1 chance out of 3 of dying.
I rolled a 5. What does that mean?
You die.
Oh, great. Both of them? All of
only one. Yeah, you're only attacking with 1. Yeah, the other one is going to attack the other hex.
Okay, so let's do it. So this one, what are the numbers here?
It's going to be a 2-2-1. Or 1-2-2, actually. Yeah.
All right, I rolled a 3.
Roll a 3, and you retreat twice. So that's fine.
Okay. So I actually left myself space to do that, thank God.
Yeah.
All right, and then we're going to come here.
Yeah, so here you attack at 10 against 6. So that's still a 1-1. But that's a lot more doable. And
I got a 5.
Oh, attacker eliminated.
Seriously?
Yeah. So let me check.
I hate randomness in dice. How horrible. Yeah. How do we ever come up with an entire shot based on these?
Yeah, and it's all units. Oh god, and that's 2 of your best units.
Oh,
that's
your
sucks. Motorized units.
Oh, that's tough.
God. Week 4. Week 4 sucks. So here
for me and not for you, apparently.
So here you have 7. I can do 12, 16. So that's going to be a 2-2-1. Oh, actually, that's going to be a lot more. Yeah. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. 10. I don't want to move here.
Yeah. Oh, just so you know, some developments in family stuff mean I have to go right at 5.
3. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
No.
1, 2, 3, 4. They're getting to Orléans. 1, 2, 3.
So just to sort of comment, I think the other thing is that, you know, even like a Bay of Biscay, this might have been a fun entry specifically because you can get everybody so far apart. You know, even if you can marshal a whole lot of people, it's a little harder to corner. If that makes sense. Like, this is so tight.
Yeah, it's pretty tight. And this is the thing with Brittany. Brittany is really open, but the problem with Brittany is that 3 opening position are putting you straight into fortresses.
Yeah, but I can ignore them.
Yeah, but the thing is that the
straight in. Yeah, I see what you mean. You're right. That's tough. This one's a city, but you could put somebody there. Yeah.
And Mozef Coquetier is saying that he would love to watch a second attempt at playing this. Actually, we could try to do another.
Yeah, we could try it again.
Yeah, game with the supply rules and everything. I think that could be fun. And we also need to play Africa Core. Actually, I'm going to call out here.
Yeah, we do need to play Africa Core.
I've been trying to find a copy of Africa Core, and I found one originally on BGG that was sold by Second Chance Games, and they never replied, so I'm not sure they actually had it. They listed it on BGG, but not on their website. So I guess we'll see, but yeah, I don't think they. Yeah, if someone has one, just reach out. That would be really awesome. Would really appreciate it.
Yeah, because we got to play it by like mail or email.
Yeah.
Just set it up and see what happens.
Okay, so I'm going to do 1 attack. I have 1 attack here that I have to do. So I have 12 here. And then I'm going to attack with this. So that's going to be 16. 16 against 7. So that's going to be 2-1 against this. So I roll the 6. And 2-1, a 6 is what? Attacker eliminated. So that's the thing. So this can happen. So that means that all of this and all of that is eliminated.
Ooh.
So that's the thing with
Finally, a
the
stroke of luck.
the combat result table is so wild that this can happen. Like I can create a gap myself, basically.
How the tables have turned. German scum.
And yeah, actually, I would like to play this in person. I think I would like to have the physical experience of playing it. So definitely, I think if we play it together, I would like for us to go straight into the supply rules, even if we don't play it through, because I think probably with the supply rules it has a bit more something. But for now, I already have a lot of opinions about the game itself that we can probably talk about. We can probably take 5 minutes at the end.
Yeah,
Do,
let's
do we
like we can just
actually?
take it basically.
Yeah, we can take it one now. Actually, that would make sense. So first of all, would you like to try it again?
I would actually. I
yeah.
think it'd be really fun. I'm not going to say where I'd come in because I want to see what you do first, but I
Yeah.
might do something a little differently. Just you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
sure.
Like I might choose a more open area to come in.
So for people to know also how it works is that the German sets up first, and then the Allies choose a landing zone. So once Liz has seen my setup, she can decide anywhere. So she could have decided anything. She doesn't have to commit before I set up it.
No,
Could be
I
actually
know.
interesting for you to commit secretly and for me to put my stuff. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
this is actually fine. But yeah, I would be happy to play it again, maybe with the supply rules. And maybe what we could do is actually start playing it a bit and then start the stream maybe at turn 6 or something like this. So you have the excitement of what's going to happen on round 8. And I think that could be actually a quite exciting for
especially because
to
then by
watch.
round 9 I'll start reinforcing I'll start replace out of my my Deadpool.
Yeah. And
which
actually
different.
definitely after this roll, and that's what I was saying, like the CRT is so bonkers, like it's insane, the CRT, like it doesn't make any fucking sense, and because of that CRT, actually you can be in a position where I think you're going to have huge swings, and typically here I lost how many units, like 6 units, 5 of them 4 of them being mechanized, so that's a massive blow.
But this also makes me think too, like, you know, you read all those articles in the general about like undefeated general and like the perfect strategy, and I'm like, what? Is it actually possible though?
Yeah, I think I think the level of randomness of those games is
Yeah,
actually
like,
quite high. Yeah.
If you were the best player of this in the world, would it still guarantee anything?
Yeah, I that's the thing. I think it's hard to evaluate. I think of course better skills would give you better odds of winning, but it would just give you better odds of winning. And I think the randomness of it. I mean,
yeah.
Unless you go into the 6-1s, but like, yeah, fair enough. Like 6-1s, you're gonna it's 5-1, 6-1s. You're gonna like it really pushes you to go to a certain ratio. Like you shouldn't fight 2-1. You should fight 3-1 and higher. Like that's what it's trying to tell you.
But if you can only stack 2 in the United States, it's like, well,
yeah. As the Allies,
what kind of choices do I have as an allied player? Like, I mean, I can only stack 2. They're not all that great. Like, I'd have to really, you know, you have to take more risks because I can't stack 3.
Yeah. So that's that. Yeah, that's the thing that I'm really wondering, and I think this is where the parachutes probably come in.
Yeah.
Because actually being behind enemy lines mean that you're going to have more units surrounding something.
Yes.
But the fact
it's
that
very
you have
risky.
Yeah.
But yeah, it also, like, the other thing is that breaking out would be interesting because you can also do things like get on like either side of someone and kind of trap them and make it hard to retreat.
Yeah.
Like that is the more chessy element of this that does actually exist, right? Is that the kind of like trapping and pincering and making it so they can't get out.
Yeah, but the trapping and everything is fine. The problem is that this unit that is in adjacent to another unit,
yeah,
it has to attack. Like, that's the thing.
Fred's house, by the way.
That's yeah, I have my washing machine that is acting crazy.
Sure, that's what that was.
Yes, but anyway, I think it's pretty hard. But I would like to play it again. I'm gonna play it this weekend, so
I'd be really interested in hearing some more reports. But this is really interesting because I just feel like games have really changed a lot, but at the same time, like, this isn't that alien in terms of like a board game for us to pick up and try to play. Does it have a lot of edge cases? Yes. Are the rules kind of messy? Yes. But does that make it so that, you know what I mean? Like, it still feels, it has so many little familiar touchstones to it, like the die roll chart and the different numbers for stats. And like, oh,
Mm.
this is the, you know what I mean? It just feels really familiar.
It's very familiar. It's very familiar and a bit odd, but very familiar. It looks like in a lot of ways, it looks like some of the things that some publishers are trying to do today, like lighter takes on bigger games.
Yeah.
So it does feel a bit like this, but it's like this one. Like if it was released today, it would feel like it had zero new ideas because basically everything that we see here is something that we've seen
Yeah.
after.
This was
Uh,
new to somebody once. Like
yeah,
at
exactly.
one point, this was like the only thing of its kind, and it was totally new.
And that's what I mean is that if it was like if I had only played chess and stuff like this, and I had toy soldiers and everything, and then someone showed me this, my mind would be blown. Like I
Yeah,
would
I
be
would
like,
lose it.
whoa, yeah,
You and I are like the spoiled kids with a PS5 looking at
yeah,
Dad's Atari.
exactly, yeah, not
Like,
realizing how awesome it is.
yeah,
Um, and yeah, and I actually love that. And the thing that I like about this one specifically is that it reminds me another game that I like a lot from Hexasim, called Liberty Roads, which has actually the same map, which is really cool. Like it's exactly the same map. It's like, there are more hexes, but I mean the map is more or less the same, and you're trying to do the same thing. It is basically the same game. It's just that
yeah,
the Liberty Roads has more pages of rule. I will give you that. The rules are better organized, but you have a lot more information.
yeah,
The combat result table are a lot more interesting. You have assets and everything, but it does remind me a lot of Liberty Roads. And when I'm playing this, I'm like, yeah, that's really cool. And I would like actually to play a series of D-Day games in rank of complexity.
yeah,
Like you could play this, then you could play. I think there is one like a hex encounter like France 44, something like this, or Normandy 44 from Mark Simonich, but probably just around Normandy, so just the first few weeks. And then playing Liberty Roads could be really fun.
yeah,
But yeah. Oh, and actually, Pia is picking up this. I would really. So I've played it a few years ago. Actually, when I started Hex Encounter game, that was one of the first games that I played. After having played some Vivictis games, and I have a really good, fun memory of it, and I would be really happy to play it with you, Pia, once you have it.
that sounds awesome. But yeah, this is actually, I think, I'm actually really glad we're doing this Wargame Archeology series, partially because I think other people enjoy it, but actually I'm really enjoying it just for myself. Like, this is so interesting. There's nothing like I mean, this is like the grandparents of everything that we do. And I
Yeah.
think it's actually really good to like know your classics, as it were.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I agree. For me, I really liked when we looked at the magazine because it was really interesting to see what are the topics that were important for them and when they emerged. And we were talking about when is the discussion about what is a real war game is going to come, and see how the hobby moved forward,
Yeah,
progressed, but at the same time, we still have the same discussion, and you feel like you can relate to people 60 years ago. And I really like that.
yeah,
And but also the process and of actually playing other games and actually puts a lot of things more into perspective. I love that. Well, it's like doing actual history. Like we
yeah,
take an element and we go through it, we try to figure it out, and then we make connections, and it's like, oh, this came from here and this was that, and we contextualize things and see the dynamic. I think it's really interesting. Super excited to play those games. Actually, I think that's really, really cool. um
yeah.
and yeah.
I'm really pumped to like try this again in
Yeah.
a future time. And I want to hear what you and Pierre experience over the weekend for sure.
Yeah, I would keep you posted. And I think that playing it physically also must be quite a different experience. So I'm
Yeah.
really looking forward to this. So I sent some pictures and everything. I'm just curious to see what the board looks like and how the counter feels. I think that's gonna be. I think that's gonna be. I think
Yeah.
it's gonna be interesting. And
But
yeah, Stuart. Actually, I would love if we went up to the point where we could play Manassas. It's one of the games that I would really, really like to play. Super looks like a super interesting design.
that's awesome. And
You were
so,
about to say something.
yeah, before we bow, I just want to remind everybody in 2 weeks on my channel, we're going to have, right around the same time, we're going to have a record of all the different funerals for wargaming that we've had since this time period. So, wargaming is dead. Long live wargaming.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the title of the show. That should be.
Yeah, I think that's what we'll just have to call it.
Yeah, and actually, so Chris is asking, is there a reason for the map orientation? And actually, I think there is, because they expected the Allied player to be on that side and the German player to be on that side.
Yeah.
And basically, what you're trying to do is push through. So it makes sense if you are one in front of the other to have that map orientation. And actually, there is a lot of games on that are covering that scope and that scale that will have the same map orientation, because basically one player is trying to move up, the other player is trying to move you down, and it makes it quite natural in that way. I would say. But yeah, so in 2 weeks, when is it? In 2 weeks, I don't have it in my agenda.
I have it for 4:30 p.m. It's a little later. On November 27th.
Oh yeah, so Monday 27th, and that's going to be 1 hour later for me.
Yeah, it's going to go a little later, but it's also, we don't have to concentrate on playing a game. We're just going to talk. So
yeah, 9:30 Wargame Archeology. Good. Yep. Okay, I realized. Oh yeah, because we talked about it while I was in France, and I didn't have my agenda with me. That's why I didn't have it.
Well, it's a good thing we talked today.
Yeah, because I'm an old man. I have a paper agenda, so I need to note things. And say, wait a minute, is it the right day?
See, you're the perfect kind of throwback for this kind of game.
Yeah, exactly. I'm already in that. I'm already in that mindset. And what's gonna come? So in 2 weeks we have this. What's upcoming video are you gonna have in the coming days on Beyond Solitaire?
Oh, just on my channel in general?
Yeah.
So actually, tomorrow I'm just airing a preview of Ahoy, since it's coming out on crowdfunding. It does not have a solo mode, but I was charmed by it at SDHisCon, so I took it anyway. And then on Wednesday, I've got the second installment of the People's Choice Top 200 commentary. Nice. So we'll be talking about basically 51 through 100. And then 5 days later, the next installment will run.
Okay.
So, that's great. And I'm very excited about next week's podcast. I have the two women who founded the Black Games Archive, which is an archive of basically Black representation in video games, but they're expanding to board games. So we talked about what counts and how they're defining, their parameters for what goes into the archive, and how they're recording gameplay and all kinds of stuff. It's actually pretty cool.
That sounds super interesting. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. And on this channel, nothing is planned. So, no, actually, I have
there is no plan.
I have a video that I actually made for SDHisCon, where Brian Train and I are playing guerrilla checkers together and talking about the future of wargaming. And originally it was only for SDHisCon, but maybe I should just publish it on the channel. So if you're hearing this and watching this and you want me to publish it, just let me know. And if you're interested, then I will just publish it at the end of this week. And next week, we should have a teach and play of Barracks Emperors on Friday. Oh no, on Sunday. And maybe a teach and play of something. We'll see. Ooh. I don't know. I'll figure out. But I have no plans really. Not much for. Yeah, I'm going to Vanguard at the end of the week. A small playing wargame convention next to London. So yeah, I didn't really have anything planned apart from this.
Fantastic.
But cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks everyone that was here tonight. That was the episode 3 of Wargame Archeology. If you enjoyed this, subscribe to Liz's channel, my channel, and you will see the rest of the series because we're just beginning. And what else? And if you want to support the show, well, subscribe, like, comment, all those things. And if you want to join the community, you can back me on Ko-fi, and you will have a link to join the Discord server where we do a lot of fun stuff. And mostly people are just conspiring to annoy me, but that's also something that you can do.
It's a good time, I promise.
Yes, people are having a good time doing this, so you can definitely join us and do that. But yeah, thanks everyone, and have a great evening. Bye-bye.
Night, everybody.